recording.
All right. Hey, everybody. Well, it is Thursday. This is probably our latest video of the week. It is COVID season. We're being hit hard, and we just got through week 5. Fellas, I'm with Caleb Dillon. How you guys doing? You speaking again?
We always speaking. We're just not speaking hatefully right now.
No. We planned this from the start. We had to make sure there was drama like the WWE.
Nice. Hey,
that's what it was. Yep.
I like it. Well, there's been a lot of drama in this league as we look through not just the incident from last week, but, we've got no undefeated teams left. We've got one defeated team left. Let's break it down quickly. Let's start with the defeated. Mason and Bryce, matchup that every week, Mace trying to find out when you're going to get that win, but taking a 22-point loss to Bryce, fellas. Thoughts on that game?
Mason said it himself. Everybody has one of their best weeks when they play him. It's funny. It started off with Todd Gurley putting up 25. Who else? Marquise Brown did well, and then very average team, and he keeps going against teams that put up above average points.
So I'm still upset.
Mason does not have a high ceiling, but he has a pretty high floor.
So, see, Bryce would have won even out without Marquise Brown for the week. But I could have used him this week, and yet I needed a running back who did nothing for me.
Yeah, well, let's talk about your matchup too, Dylan. You took a 12-point loss to Trevor. Trevor getting his first win on the season. That Ravens defense, Baltimore defense, really got you with 25 points.
Yep.
Dylan, are you concerned any? I mean, back-to-back losses now, a tough schedule. Playing.
No.
Talk about your. We got a tough schedule coming up.
I told some of the members of the league here that I like to help out the league here. So my past 2 losses have come from my contributions to that team. Joe Mixon beat me with a 42-point outing from Connor McLean. And then this previous week, Trevor Rowland beat me with 2 of my own players, and Chris Carson and Russell Wilson from that trade. So I got to help out the competition, make sure it's evened out some. I mean, it's a little off balance right now on who's better and who's worse in the conferences. We have a much better conference on one side than we do on the other side right now. So I had to even it out a little bit. And then on top of that, I'm just trying to get my guys some playing time, looking towards the playoffs. More looking to the playoffs than we are towards right now.
That's like Connor McLean's strategy.
Yeah, but I've also mentioned this from the beginning, Matt. You've mentioned it multiple times. I've liked Trevor's team from the beginning. There was a few weaknesses, but I think the trades have been helped out there to pick it up, and I think his guys are really starting to show out now.
Okay, I got to poop on Connor's team real quick. Again, he traded away all of his good players. He has the easiest schedule in the league. I don't know how he's 4-1, putting up 115 points last week, barely winning. He is the worst 4-1 team I have ever seen. There we go, Connor. Again, hashtag what Caleb says or whatever Matt said. There it is. Your team is not good. You will miss the playoffs after starting 4-1. Guaranteed.
You took the script right out of me. That's exactly what I was going to say. Use the hashtag. Let's talk it up in the chat. Let's talk about Connor's team real quickly. He did get another win. He's 4-1. He's tied for the league lead in this in our league. Isaac took the loss, but 115 to 104. Not a really high-scoring, great matchup right there. Guys, we talked about Isaac's team. We've kind of given him a lot of flack. He's 2-3 now, and he's not the bottom of the league. I mean, what can we say about Isaac?
I still don't like Isaac's team. That's what I can say.
Well, the best running back got arrested. That's unfortunate.
Kyler Murray is going to show out sometimes. Odell's going to show out sometimes.
Jamison Crowder might be the best player on his team behind Kyler, which isn't
I think
Jamison Crowder's done well.
The issue with here is that he took Malcolm Brown as a good RB2 guy, and then Darrell Henderson just took over the backfield there, who is now on Trevor's team as well, which brings his team up. Yeah,
I traded him, Malcolm Brown, right after he scored 26 points, and then he's put up 4, 2, 10, and 3 after that. So,
he does have Emmanuel Sanders, who I think is starting to click with Drew Brees. Good person there. Yeah, Rams defense is going to struggle against some weird teams, but they'll also do pretty good. They score so many points, they're going to allow a lot of points against better teams in Washington. The Redskins, I stand by it. Yeah. And then Devin Singletary, I think, can be a lead back, but who knows? We see Le'Veon Bell's eyeing 3 teams right now: the Dolphins, the Buffalo Bills,
he goes to
and the Chiefs.
Nathan gets screwed over one more time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Go back to Connor's schedule. He plays Matt this week. Then he plays Jake's injury-riddled team. then 1-4 Trevor, and then Bryce's injury-riddled team, then myself, and then Isaac, whose team nobody likes.
Let's go ahead and finish last week
Connor,
first.
Braden.
Let's finish last week first.
And then Mason. Connor has the easiest schedule I've ever seen in my entire life. He has 2 people left with winning records on his schedule after Matt.
Let's
2.
finish last week.
Okay,
Again,
sorry.
Connor.
I'll hit Connor in a second. Let's finish last week's schedule first.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, let's talk another low-scoring game. I'll admit I was the luckiest one right here, barely winning because of really a tough week, and we'll talk into it. But Jake's team, we're both 3-2 now. A very low-scoring affair. Should not have ended this way. Again, I will say, Jake, I've said it. It's you in the chat. I got extremely lucky. And then let's talk our last matchup. Caleb, highest score of the week. You put up 157 against your brother. A brother matchup, a good one right here. Cookie Town Baby Daddies take their first loss. Okay, so I want to pose this question to both of you. You have Mike Davis. Things changing. CMC maybe coming back. You know, Caleb, you had almost all the players of the high scores of the week. Can you keep this up, especially now if Mike Davis won't do the same? It won't be the same production maybe in a few weeks.
This is the best my team's going to be all year with Mike Davis playing. Because I lose him and our placement with David Johnson. He's a solid running back too, 10 to 15 points a game. But yeah, this is the best my team's going to be so far. But if it's an odd week, I'll put up the most points when there's no money involved. Even weeks, I'll be trash. But we'll see. I was happy to give Connor his first loss. Came down to Tuesday night if you guys were watching. Stephon Diggs started catching everything, and Derrick Henry didn't come alive till the second half. So it got between like 4 or 5 points there at one point, and if Stephon Diggs catches a touchdown there and Derrick Henry doesn't get that other touchdown, it's a different – Connor's a big comeback for him, but we survived. Surviving, I think, as Mason says.
So off both those matchups real quick. First of all, a big news thing for Uncle Rico's squad. Dak Prescott injured, most likely out for the season, almost guaranteed. I think that obviously that hurt his team, and there's a good aspect and a bad aspect. I'm a Giants fan. I wanted to win, but I'm okay with the Cowboys beating us in this case. We suck already, and I think Dak deserves a win out of that. Dak was a great player at Mississippi State, and so I hope for the best for him. Then going into this, I want Pam to have my kiddos cooking on Baby Daddies. I agree. I think Mike Davis drops off the radar. I bet he's still an 8 to 10 point fantasy scorer per week after seeing his production right now, but CMC's to come back. Also, I think Cookie Down Baby Daddies got absolutely screwed this week with Tyler Lockett's output being so much lower than Metcalf. They expected a shoot house between Minnesota and Seattle. Tyler Lockett just did not get the production he wanted. Metcalf didn't deserve as much production as him after that stupid fumble he had last week.
That was 2 weeks ago.
That was last week, I believe. So.
Oh, he's been their red zone target. It's been nice. They made it for the game-winning drive. They had 4 downs in the red zone. They targeted Metcalf all 4 plays.
Well, no, that's not true. The first play was to Lockett.
Yep.
Okay, sorry. I watched the last 3 then. The next 3 were to DK. Or next 2 or whatever.
That's all I have on this week. So whatever you have next, Matt.
DK was the start. Hey, so let's talk about we talked a little bit about it. Let's first go to Caleb. Big injuries other than Dak. Anything you want to report, and then we'll go to you.
Yeah,
Talk about the fun little games. The little mini games we're doing all year. We got our first arrest, so we'll talk about that. But Caleb, first, any other injuries? Anything big or?
Was there any other injuries besides Dak? Sammy Watkins is out for a few weeks. Dalvin Cook, I guess. Yeah, Dylan. Yeah, I don't see.
Hey, I'm good with it. I like my guys. They're taking rest against hard matchups. We're cooling it down a little bit. My guys play to their ability against the matchups. Like I said, when Matt was close to me, I beat him by a point. When Connor was close, we had a close game. We like close football. That's my team. We like to play to the level of our opponents, and we're going to continue to play that way.
I don't
first, folks. Dylan likes close balls.
I don't like being stressed, but if that's what you like to play and you like to play it down to a 1-point game, then we'll go with that. I just personally do not like being stressed when it comes down to that. So
I like the stress.
Nope.
All right, so let's talk, Dylan, about the arrest this week. What we got?
All right, so we have our player roster on a team did get arrested. Scranton Paper Products owns this man in Melvin Gordon. He was suspected of drunk driving and arrested for then a DUI on Tuesday at approximately, I believe it was 2:07 p.m. I don't know why someone would be day drinking if they're in the NFL and it's on a Tuesday. I'm pretty sure they had – was it a bye week for them? Broncos?
They were supposed to play.
They're supposed to play, and I believe it turned into a bye week, so I
Melvin
guess he
Gordon
decided
was kicked, so that
he
might
decided to drink instead.
Yep.
Obviously, we didn't have a highest even week score. No new ceiling was reached. Survivor this week, Uncle Rico was eliminated. It's a new name there. All our top ranked power ranking guys are eliminated now at this point, basically. We have no new unluckies. Streak has ended. There is no longer a 4-win streak, so if someone can tie that or then gain a 5. We had 2 new bench warmers entrances, so I want Pam to have my Kittles now has the highest single week score and 100 points with week 5. He takes that score on Tuesday night with Mike or Monday night with Mike Williams
or Tuesday
or Tuesday night, yes. The saddest part about this whole thing is that for one day, draft losers had the highest bench warmer score with 98.66. They could have gotten a win somewhere. They just didn't figure it out. We also have then margins. There's no new margin victory. And underrated, as of right now, the most underrated team is 2000 Lance Armstrong. He has 2 and 3, so he's the bottom half of the league, but he's averaging 130 points a game. And then we obviously have our anonymous vote at the end of the year. Head scout free agency pickup is kind of hard to keep track of, so that's going to be a last-second figure out.
All right. Well, we ready to talk about this week's matchups?
Go ahead.
All right.
Yeah.
So week 6, that's why I'm here right now. You see my backdrop. I'm here in San Francisco. Sunday Night Football. We got the Rams taking on the 49ers. That's going to be a good one here. But we got some good matchups here. Let's start off with Dylan, we'll start with your matchup. A 4-1 and 3-2 Cookie Town Baby Daddies against Password is Taco. Caleb, who you got in this matchup?
Yeah, Dylan's about to get killed. This might be the biggest margin victory, whatever.
All right, Matt.
Yeah, that's all I got.
First of all, I don't understand why you choose San Francisco. I'd hate to be a San Francisco fan right now. It's a bad case for them. Jimmy Garoppolo can't walk. He needs a cane at this point. The team can't throw. They don't know who their targets are. Their running backs aren't working. Their team's not working, and they got slaughtered this week. So it's a bad place to be, and I don't want to be a fan of that team right now. I'd rather be a Giants fan, as I am. It's just because we don't have any upside. They do. Then this week's matchup, I looked at it from the beginning. I had buys this week, and I knew when I traded around, I wasn't going to have players, and now I probably don't have them anyways. The only thing that can really combat this week is I need Tampa Bay to shut down Aaron Jones. Kansas City has held wide receivers pretty well in check this year. That's Stephon Diggs, Robbie Anderson. He just has some pretty tough defensive matchups this week, and that's the only thing that can really hold me. These guys are projected a lot and can score a lot. It's just, can the defenses hold them? I've got a few good guys that are boom or bust. So basically to win this week, I'd have to have some booms, and he'd have to be held to what these defenses are known for. Other than that, I'm really hoping that this Andy Dalton offense at the Cowboys slows down Ezekiel Elliott's production. Maybe he's an awesome passer again like he was at the Bengals, because he was so good, obviously.
Yeah.
I expect to lose this week, but it's I see there is a way for me to win. It's just going to be tough.
Yeah, I think that Cowboys offense is going to change a little bit more into Zeke's favor. I think we'll see a lot more from Zeke. Dylan, I'm sorry I got to go against you. I think you're taking the loss this week.
I agreed.
Let's go to the next matchup. We got 2000 Lance Armstrong against Scranton Paper Products, both 2 and 3. If we're looking at projections, 20-point projection right now for Bryce. Who you got?
Oh, go ahead, Caleb.
I got to go with Bryce, but I think it's going to be closer than 20 points. Yeah. I mean, Jameson Crowder's solid, OBJ's solid, Singletary and Burkhead put 40 points up last time he was healthy. Bryce has a little too much. Even with Saquon getting injured, his team's still not bad because Connor gave him Todd Gurley and Devontae Adams for nothing. Y'all are hating on my trades or whatever, but that was the most lopsided trade of the year. Bryce will win that one.
I'm also taking Bryce on 2 big players. I think Josh Allen tears up the Kansas City secondary in passing yards, and I believe that Todd Gurley will then tear up Minnesota as Minnesota looks to better their defensive passing ability, and so I believe that they might it'll be a run game in Atlanta and Minnesota. And since Atlanta's offense isn't really working, I believe they're going back to the basics. So I would expect Todd Gurley to get 20 or 30, maybe 40 carries this game, a workhorse the entire game. And then on the other side, I think Devin Singletary gets a lot of work out of this field with throwings, and we struggled there from. I gets less work out of this field anyway since secondary on Kansas City is not as good. And I also see Odell Beckham getting clamped up in Pittsburgh. I think Kareem Hunt will be the only guy to shine in this Cleveland week, who also is playing me, so that doesn't help me out. And I think Jamison Crowder gets shut down by Fitzmagic's team.
Huh.
All right, next matchup, Uncle Rico's squad survive and advance. The best chance maybe for Mace to get a first win on the season, but the projections, it's still within 10. We know how it backfires. What do we got? Caleb, we'll start with you.
I picked Mason a couple weeks. He's had good matchups, but every week somebody goes off on the opposing team. There is no way that he should lose. One second. One second.
That's part of the we're giving for Mason's team. I mean, just sneeze.
I want to see it happen again. We're going Jake. There's zero chance he should win. His whole team's on bye. His highest screen player just got injured. But there's a chance, and if there's a chance Mason will lose, Mason will lose.
I'm going to be honest here. So the streaks in a row was initially for most wins, but if Mason goes 0-10, I believe he earned the streak record.
Yeah.
So if I see it 0-10 out of Mason, he will earn the streaks record.
Longest streak, either longest losing streak or longest winning streak. Whoever has the longest.
Well, no. If you have five, no. But also out of this game, I think that Mason loses anyways. I think Fitzmagic is undervalued this week. I think the Dolphins' defense and Ravens' defense this week, they're projected 7. I bet they score at least 15. Amari Cooper is going to be the lead guy now instead of CeeDee Lamb, Cedric Wilson, and Michael Gallup with Andy Dalton. He likes Amari Cooper more just based on how he's seen in the past. I think DeAndre Swift tears apart Jacksonville. Gaskin tears apart the Jets. I just think every opportunity there is for Uncle Rico's squad to score and do that extra points this week, they're going to hit. And then it's going to be a struggle on the other side. Ben Roethlisberger, I think it's going to be a run game down in Cleveland and against Cleveland and Pittsburgh. Miles Sanders is going to get shut down against Baltimore.
Baltimore, oh my goodness, that is.
Yeah, Miles Sanders against Baltimore. Alexander Madison's going to score points no matter what. He's going to be a good guy there. I think he might be the best, which is actually sad. Allen Robinson will probably score good, but the thing is, it's going to be a big run week for the Chicago Bears. Chris Godwin against Green Bay is going to be locked down. I just think there's no way. I don't think Mason can win this week because even though projections are there, their matchups are not.
I'd agree.
All right, our next one, we got Ralphie's Secret Sauce, and that's what she said. A 4-1 versus a 3-2. Looking to be close. A lot of bye weeks and, the trades that Connor made. Again, we talked about that a lot. Caleb, I'll start with you because I'm sure you want to bring it up again. So bring it up.
Your team is bad when you have 3 Cincinnati Bengals on it, and you're really bad when 2 of those players are starting. A team that put up 0 points last week and gave the opposing defense 25.
They got 3. They got 3.
He's starting 2 Cincinnati Bengals, and Andy Dalton is a starting quarterback, a former Bengal. Matt, not only do I think you're going to win by a lot, I want you to win so this division gets tied up and Connor stops getting these free wins.
Dylan, what about you?
I think you take it, Matt, but I think you have some tough hardships to get there. Matt Ryan, I think, is just done for fantasy right now.
I don't know why you're so Matt Ryan.
I don't either. Atlanta's done. James Robinson's going to run pretty well. Devontae Freeman is going to get stuck up against Washington's defense because the only defense they have is running. And I don't think Devontae Freeman is going to be a good flex option to play. He's starting as your RB2 right now, I believe, though. I think Ronald Jones is going to struggle against Green Bay. Green Bay's just hot right now. Mike Evans again. Hopkins is going to go off no matter what. Hopkins will be a lead scorer this week. Jonah Smith will go off again. I think Houston got a hot header for losing Bill O'Brien last week. And they'll continue to be on that hot streak. I don't think that Jonah Smith will have an amazing week. But I think it will be the main target from Tennessee this week against Houston. Their defense is going to struggle. Their offense is going to be powerful. On the other side of the ball, Joe Mixon, I still like him. I still like his production, but it's going to be a tough year for him still. I don't think he can produce that solid RB1 numbers, lower tier maybe for the entire year. Jonathan Taylor is struggling, and then the rest of his team I just don't like very much this week. I think you got this week, Matt, but he's a 2-3 team anyways. I don't know what 4-1 says. I think it's a mistype.
Wow. All right, and our last match of the week, testicular cancer against I want Pam to have my kittles. A 1-4, a 3-2. Kale, we'll start with you. It's your team. You're projected to win by 15, 20. What are your thoughts?
Let's just say I hope the winning streak continues, and I hope I get the streak bracket, the $5 there. I'll let a guest talk about my team. I don't want to do it. I'm biased or whatever.
Go ahead, Matt.
Well, I mean, I think Caleb, I think you will continue and get another win and go 4-2. So that's all I'm going to say. Dylan, what about
Without the buys, I'm taking Trevor's team, but I think it's gonna be a close matchup. I take this as probably the closest matchup of the week. You may not know why. Deshaun Watson, I think, like I said, he has one of two options. He's going up because Bill O'Brien's gone, or he's going to crash after his high week last week. On the other side, Matthew Stafford is going to destroy the worst defense in the league. I think Jacksonville is below New York Jets in defense, and I just think they're going to be destroyed. Cleveland's got rushing defense. That's all they are. James Conner's struggling there, but on the other side of the ball, you got Mike Davis. Chicago's got rushing defense. I think it's just a hard-fought battle this week. This is the closest matchup of the week, and I'm gonna take Caleb this week, but I would take Trevor any other week.
I'll take it. Oh,
Okay, well,
good time.
there's our matchups. We got a lot of games. Watch out for the COVID
What's
situation.
the game of the week? We got to the game of the week segment.
Well, game of the week. Dylan, we'll start with you. What matchup do you like?
I think testicular cancer, and I want Pam to have my kiddos is the closest game of the week. Just said it. I stand by it.
I think Ralphie's secret sauce, and that's what she said is the game of the week.
It'll probably come down to – it will come down to Monday night again. That's what I'm used to, man. I'm going to go out and say – game of the week, I'm going Uncle Rico and Survive in Advance. I hope that's close and it comes down the wire. That just makes it interesting. So that's going to be my game of the week. Come down the wire.
I do have a quick update to the power rankings, though.
Yes.
Connor Boydston has remained number 1. We have a new number 2 in Pam as Rico has dropped to 3. That's what she said is at 4. Myself was at 5. And Connor Boydston, the second 4-1 team, is the 6th power ranked team. If you would like to know why, that is because he has the fewest points allowed in the season. The fewest points allowed. He has no defense playing. He has the fewest points allowed, which means the least points scored against him. Then you have Bryce, who has nearly 300 more points scored against him on the season. That is a sad day. And it's going to continue. And then I'm sorry, but Mason, your team is very far off the margin. Somehow Trevor has hopped into the next tier. He's now on the same level as Scranton Paper Products. Everyone else is pretty close. Connor Boydston and Mason are the outliers, and I don't see it changing for at least 2 weeks.
Well, that's not going to cause controversy at all, but there you go.
An outlier. I just beat him. My goodness. Just dominated.
Oh, man. Well, hey, good analysis. If you're still watching this video, thanks. We got a great matchup, great games going on this week, and good luck, fellas.
Adios.